Hi everyone, welcome to Grow. My name is Patricia Hanbidge. I am a horticulturist. My partner, Little Green Sprout here, has joined me once again today. So thanks for taking time out of your day to join us. Our topic for today is books and other sources of knowledge that you can trust when you're a gardener and you're needing a little bit of extra help. So seeing as how I have my favorite assistant here helping us out, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. Is that all right?
Okay.
Okay. So when you don't know something, how do you learn about something new, or how do you learn about gardening or horticulture or whatever it is you're trying to learn?
Go to school and learn at
Okay.
school horticulture, or ask someone that they know.
Somebody that knows about the
Yes.
subject, yes. Well, seeing as how right now school isn't an option, at least on that site, but you're doing lots of learning at home and with gardening and things, aren't you? Yeah, we've actually done a lot of things together. So thanks to you folks for joining us. So what about reading? Do you read yet?
Starting to.
Starting to?
Because you're teaching me.
Well, yes, I'm helping you with that. But have you ever read a gardening book? How about looked at pictures? Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, pretty pictures are pretty important, aren't they? So let's talk about where we can get good gardening information, because even though you can catch me anytime on my Grow channel on YouTube, you might not have access to the internet, or you might be too tired to get out of bed, or whatever it is. So it's nice to have different sources of information. And one of our biggest sources is to go online and to see what we can find for information. But sometimes you get lost, right? You were doing some research on the internet the other day, and I said, oh my goodness, we're getting overwhelmed by this. So sometimes that's a problem too. So I wanted to talk about books a little bit. And this one here, this is a book that I was involved in writing. There is 20 or 30 authors, and it's the Flora of the World. So as you can see, it's my weightlifting tool. It's a coffee table book. It's a great book, and it was a great honor to actually be involved with this book that is a compilation of the flora of the world. So if you're looking for something to put on your coffee table that is plant related, that's a really cool book. It was really interesting to be involved with it. I wrote the intro to Zone 2, I think it was. It was quite a while ago. But anyway, that's kind of a fun book that's a compilation. There's lots of reference books out there that are really great. The library is a good source of books, and online books and stuff are available too. I have done a number of, I've written, I don't know, I think it's 9 books now, and I've got another one in the hopper on landscape design, so watch for that one. But I've done some work with lone pine, and I'm really proud of these books. This one is kind of fun because it is like a gardener's calendar. So it's kind of fun to be able to go through, and I encourage people that purchase Gardening Month by Month in Saskatchewan. There's also Gardening Month by Month in Ontario, and I didn't have a hand in writing those ones, but it's great to be able to keep a diary a little bit in the garden. The Perennial and Annual books for Saskatchewan and Manitoba, and again there's lone pine books on perennials and annuals, and lots of other subject matter for right across the country and beyond. So regardless of what zone you live in, they're very, very useful tools. What I just want to share with you briefly is that in the back of the Perennial and Annuals books are these great charts. And one of the reasons that I wanted to see these in the books is because if you're a new gardener, or a gardener who's trying to learn about new plant material and that kind of thing, it's nice to have an easy color-coded reference. And so in these charts, you can look up the botanical or the common name, because sometimes we don't know our Latin. And you can look and see the color of bloom, when they bloom, whether they need moist conditions, dry conditions, etc., etc., etc. And there's lots of pretty pictures, right? So that's a good thing too. So, I encourage you, when it's rainy outside like it is today, to look for some other options to expand your knowledge. And just because we're not in the garden doesn't mean we aren't doing things about gardening. I would like to just take a couple of minutes and talk about, I grabbed a few books out of my library. You laughed when you saw the stack of them, but this is my favorite mushroom book of all time. It's Mushrooms of the Boreal Forest, and if you recall, the Boreal Forest is circumpolar, so all over the world you'll find the Boreal Forest. Unfortunately, Eugene, who wrote this book, has passed away, so we won't be seeing another one, but it is a great book for identification of mushrooms. There's good text, and I like that it's coil bound so you can take it out in the field with you. My favorite book on herbs is, of course, Herbs, The Complete Gardener's Guide by Lima. And as an author, I often give my books as gifts, and the same is true in reverse. So Patrick gave me this book, and I really love it. It's got beautiful, beautiful illustrations, and it is a complete gardener's guide. So that's a very, very cool book. I share my books and others share them with me. Marjorie Harris, I had her come into town to do some speaking, and she was quite lovely, and so she gave me Seasons of My Garden. And again, it's a beautiful text with lots of images, beautiful things that just make you want to go out in the garden and garden. When I was in the UK leading a tour, Gardens of Inspiration was my favorite go-to there. And like I said, it was regardless of zone, it's there's just beautiful things that you can see in the garden. And even though books are a little bit passé, they aren't, because even though they're dated when they're published, they're still a great reference. One last favorite that I have is the Perennial Garden Guide, and this is a great book, mostly because of the grasses. So the author, of course, is John Valleau, and he writes in the book to me, "To Patricia, thanks a million for being such a superb host. All the best in creating the garden of your dreams." So, as I said, we like to share our books. This is a great book for perennials. I like it especially because of the information that's on grasses and that kind of thing. And grasses are a beautiful thing to have in the garden. So, because we're inside and not out in the rain today, but the garden is out in the rain today and it's loving it. Nice humidity and all that kind of thing. So we thought that we'd talk about sources of reference and places you go to learn more about things. And we've always got the books, we've got the internet, we've got authorities. And you know, I hope that these different journeys that we have together when I'm sharing things with you, that it will evolve to be more of a question answer session. So I'm working to improve the number of people that subscribe to the YouTube channel grow, my channel grow, and I think we're at around 35 or somewhere like that right now. And I would like to see more question and answers so that I can help you in your garden with whatever is going on, whether it's using produce or adding something new or keeping things alive or whatever it might be. So did you want to add anything? No? Okay, good. Well, thank you for joining me and helping me out for Grow Live for today. And I'd like to thank you for joining us as well, because hey, it's all about sharing information and good knowledge and gosh, out being in the garden, whether we're inside the garden or out. So thank you for joining me. Until we meet again, be happy, stay safe, and let's get growing. Thanks a lot, folks. See you next time. Bye now.